who is worthy of the name of a freeman, and thus tamely surrenders the rights, the privileges, and the immunities of an independent citizen. Intelligence of the people is the only guarantee against encroachments upon their liberties, whether those encroachments are from the civil or ecclesiastical power. He writes that in the July 1837 Messenger and Advocate as the Kirtland Safety Society is crumbling. As you can see, Warren Cowdery and others like him do not, they're claiming their constitutional right to say we get to control our property as well. They're not liking the mix of church and state, the mix of church and finance into things as a whole. Historian Ronald Esplin taps into this. He says, quote, "What was at issue was not simply prosperity or economic decline or the failure of the bank, although all of those were important. The central issue for many was their understanding of prophetic leadership. What was the role of a prophet? Was a prophet, like the Protestant minister in American tradition, expected to preach to us on Sunday out of the Book of Mormon or Modern Revelation, but not to lead the community? Or was a prophet to lead a community of gathered saints into a new way of organizing themselves, where all their labors work together to build the kingdom of God on earth? The second model was what Nauvoo became. This is what Joseph was beginning to teach and trying to implement to some degree in Kirtland. And this, the role of prophetic leadership, was what people divided over. That's fascinating. It wasn't so much the bank. The question was, what's the role of a prophet? Can a prophet direct us in temporal affairs? Or should a prophet only be directing us, giving us spiritual sermons and teaching us like a regular Protestant minister does? It's interesting that the Lord himself earlier in the Doctrine and Covenants had already said, there is no such thing as a temporal commandment. All commandments are spiritual unto me. Oliver Cowdery, by the way, not in Kirtland, but over just a few months later over in Missouri, when he's excommunicated, he says, quote, that he would not be governed by any ecclesiastical authority nor revelation whatever in his temporal affairs. You can see he shares this same, like, let me be independent as his brother Warren Cowdery as a whole.